Okay, so I'm going to start. Thank you to you all for joining today's session, and thank you for expressing an interest in our part-time online and blended MA in Educational Leadership in Practice here at the University of Manchester. So today's event is all about the voice of our student. We believe that hearing directly from students currently studying with the University of Manchester really helps prospective students when it comes to making a decision about postgraduate study. So postgraduate study, as our panelists know, is a huge decision to make. It requires a lot of commitment financially and also when it comes to your own time. So you need to be absolutely sure that it's going to be the right next step and next move for you in terms of your personal development, but also your professional development as well. So I hope that all of you listening today find the conversation that we're about to have really insightful, and you leave here with a better understanding of what studying at the University of Manchester and on the Educational Leadership in Practice is really like. So as I mentioned, I'm joined by a fantastic group of panelists today, and I'm not going to introduce them because I'm going to let them do their own introduction. Daisy James, and I'm based here in Manchester. I am one of the course advisors at the University of Manchester, and my role really is to support prospective students in their decision-making journey. So I kind of conduct individual consultations with prospective students to really kind of get an idea about their motivations and kind of what they want next for their career and kind of their personal development. So what I would encourage you to do so, if you are today and interested in the MA in Educational Leadership in Practice, is to get in touch with me, because I can really support you through that journey and hopefully going on to apply to the fantastic course that we'll talk about today in more detail. So I guess I'm going to hand it over to my panelists now.
So I'm guessing that Daisy's internet is sometimes in and out, so I think that we'll just go ahead and introduce ourselves to start off with. To start, my name is Martin Lipton. I currently study at Manchester University, or the Manchester campus. I started the course in February 2020, so I was the first cohort to join this course, and yeah, currently at this moment in time, I am a deputy head teacher in a bilingual school based in Berlin. A little bit about me: I'm Scottish, if you can't tell, and on top of it, I've been teaching for 11 years. So I taught in Scotland for 8 years in the state school system, and then I wanted a big change in my life, so I moved to Germany and have been teaching here for 3 years as a deputy head teacher.
Thank you, Martin. Apologies to everyone. I think my internet did cut out there, but Martin, you saved me there, so thank you. Sana, if we could come to you to introduce yourself, that would be brilliant.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Sana, and I work at an international school here in Dubai. I'm currently enrolled in the Master's in Leadership, Education Leadership with the University of Manchester. And I've done almost 1 year of the course, and I'm loving it. Previously, I've done my Master's in Business Management as well. So yeah, the expectations are there. Yes, as soon as I started the course, I was given the position of Lead for Innovation and e-learning as well. So yeah, I do that. I've been teaching in international school for the last 8 years. I've worked 3 years in Bahrain as well, working as a classroom teacher there. Yeah, that's all about me.
Thank you, Sana. It's great to have you. And Daniel, over to you, over in China.
Okay, yeah, hi, I'm Daniel. In the last 13 years, I used to be an IELTS English teacher for 7 years. And since 2015, I have become the principal of 2 English language centers and the CEO of a study abroad service company in Zhongshan City, a small city near Guangzhou and Shenzhen in the south of China. Currently, I'm studying at a center in Shanghai, China. It's a pleasure to share my learning experience these days. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you, Daniel, and thank you, Martin, as well. It's great to have you all in kind of one virtual room, but we're all kind of spread out across the globe. So first, if that's okay. Why did you choose to study at the University of Manchester, Daniel? Can you answer that first, please?
Yeah, actually, in the last 13 years, my team have already sent actually about 3,000 students abroad. Since I find it increasingly difficult to manage the growing team and tackle the tough issues by experience, I believe that we call it the ELIP program, right? Educational Leadership in Practice. The ELIP program provided by the University of Manchester with the world-class academics on educational leadership will equip me with a wide range of transfer skill sets and leading-edge knowledge and network with fellow peers, course tutors, and industrial leaders, making me become the intellectual and educational leader. Yeah.
Thank you, Daniel. And Martin, why did you choose to study at the University of Manchester?
So having a look about different universities, Manchester really stood out for me because it offered the ideal learning context. So having the opportunity to study at home by myself, but also offering me the opportunity to have this blended aspect towards the course as well was a real big giver for me, to be honest. The fact that Manchester has like quite a high ranking in terms of university education, and I know that education in itself as a subject is particularly done well at Manchester. I felt that it was the right move to make in order to develop professionally and really take the next step into trying to develop some of my personal skill sets and looking from a critical perspective of research and education, which obviously the Manchester Uni has in its course. So yeah, it was one of the big things for me, the blended aspect that really gave me the push to come towards a course.
Brilliant, thanks Martin. And Sana, over to you. Why did you choose to study at the University of Manchester and kind of on the Educational Leadership in Practice course?
I think my reasons are pretty similar to what Martin just said. That first of all, the rating, because if anyone is from Dubai here at the moment, they know how competitive it is. It's not just about the course you're doing, but it also depends on which university you've done the course from. So that was an important factor while I was choosing which university I should go for to do my master's. Then being a mom of three, it was also very important for me to see how flexible the course is. And Manchester University, the way the course is structured is quite flexible in terms of how you will finish the course. So that was one of the factors that really attracted me to start my course at Manchester University. The rating of the university, and then the blended mode was very flexible while working full time. So it is a very busy course and you need a lot of time to study. So the way the course is structured made a big difference in how I have been progressing on the course. So I think I've made the right decision by choosing Manchester University to do the course.
Thanks, Sana. And you're absolutely right. All of you have touched on that kind of flexibility and the blended aspect of the course. The MA Educational Leadership in Practice has been designed with the working professional in mind. So you don't need to kind of take a break from your career in order to kind of keep developing. So it's great that you found that flexibility really beneficial to you and your lives as well. So I guess my next question, Sana, I'll come to you again. Who did you speak to when you were kind of making your decision about pursuing a master's? Was there anyone in particular you spoke to, family, friends, colleagues? And do you have any kind of advice for students who might be considering applying to this course and who they should speak to before taking that step?
So I have friends who are not doing a degree in education, but they're doing other degrees from Manchester University. So first of all, from word of mouth, it just did sound like that, the tutors in the university are quite helpful and friendly. And then I contacted Ankita. She works for the Dubai Center. So I spoke to her in detail and she gave me each and every detail about the course. And then she connected me with Dr. Alex, who I then spoke to, because when I started the course, COVID was at its peak and there was uncertainty in the job market. I wasn't sure if I was going to stay in my job or Will I have to move back to the UK? So I was very uncertain. And then I spoke to Dr. Alex, and then he explained to me, you know what, to start the course. And, you know, if at any point you need to stall or anything, God forbid, happens, then, you know, we're very flexible in terms of we can stop and then restart the course. And the way he explained everything, it did sound like, you know, he was being very genuine how he explained this thing. So then, yeah, I think it really made a difference when I spoke to Dr. Alex and he explained each and every step of the course. And plus, and the modules also, the courses that are offered are really good, and as in like they are really related to what I should be doing at this point in my career. So I think that was very helpful.
Great, thank you, Sana. And absolutely, to anyone listening, we have a fantastic recruitment who are there to process, but also put you in contact with the academic team as well, who can kind of walk you through the course in detail, which in turn will help you make that decision about pursuing your master's. Oh, has my internet cut out?
Well, we missed out on who you were referring to though, but
apologies. I think my internet is quite bad today, so I really do apologise to everyone listening, and to obviously our panelists. I guess I'm thinking and kind of making your decision about pursuing a master's with us.
Oh, maybe I could answer. Yeah, I could answer Daisy's questions about who did I speak to when I were making my decisions about pursuing this master's. Yeah, before I applied this program, I consulted many friends of mine. Most of them have been working in the field of international education for more than 10 years. Yeah, I was told that the University of Manchester have a very good reputation in my country, especially in the south of China. And I discussed with my wife as well, you know, yeah. Actually, my wife was worried about that if I was able to get out of my work and my family. Finally, I make the decision by myself. Yeah. And also, I do have an advice for those who are interested in this program. In the guidelines of this program, it is suggested that 20 hours a week is needed, for the study. However, to be frank, considering about the reading list I need to finish every week, it usually requires more than 20 hours a week for me. But it's a valuable program though. So think about your time before you make this decision. Yeah.
Thank you, Daniel. And again,
okay.
Apologies to everyone listening. My internet is just gone continuously trying to work but not working, so I do apologize. Martin, I'd like to come to you if that's okay. Can you tell me a little bit about your time on the course so far, and can you tell me what you've learned that you may have put into practice in your current role?
Yeah, not a problem. So I think out of the three of us, I have had the most time on the course. This has been a year and a half for the course, or that I've been studying on this course. To be honest, kind of looking at Daniel's sentiments there, I do think that, yeah, the workload can be quite high, particularly sometimes when you put it aside or beside your own workload within your school. However, one thing that I would say that really helps me a lot within the different units that we do is the key dates. And every unit that you go into, you have a calendar of key dates that really does break down where you should be and how you should look at each week or each fortnight, for example. And for me, I always stick to it because I'm a very organized person, and it just allows me to really roll through all of the content. And it also gives me time to sit and reflect about the content and how that impacts my own practice, or how that has helped influence my practice as well. So I've done quite a lot of, I've done 6 different units so far. I'm currently on a unit on international schools. I've previously looked at leadership as a leadership, social practice. I've looked at policy and leadership. I've also looked at different research aspects of leadership as well within education. Some of the biggest things that I've learned, to be honest, about the course is just in reflection. So yes, all the detail and all the research that you go into is very important because it allows you to ground your basis and allows you to think about how you deal with your practice. But the biggest thing for me has been the ability to sit back and reflect upon my own general practice, the way I enact leadership, or the way in which I go about on a day-to-day basis and be a leader, and what that actually means. And the various different units that we've done so far has allowed me to look at, all the small parts of leadership and really then bring it all together to see, okay, where am I now? Where do I want to go to then? And all these singular units that you do throughout the course really just build up to that aspect of developing your skill set and really making you a better leader for the next step.
Thank you, Martin. That was a great answer. Thank you very much. My next question, I'm going to come to Daniel, if that's okay. So how do you think this course will help you to achieve your career or personal goals, which you may have set for yourself? How do you hope that that will help you?
Yeah, actually, up to now, I think this course helps me a lot. First, from my own personal perspective, one of the most interesting aspects of the elite program is self-reflection, as Martin just mentioned. Yeah, through scholarly reflection with the theoretical lens for an analysis of the educational leadership practice, a better understanding of my professional practice is made. And second, most of my classmates are educators or educational leaders, in Shanghai Center. Yeah, such as the principals or directors in the international high schools, teachers in public schools, and the famous educational institutes like New Oriental in China, project managers of NGO. Yeah, they are from various industries indeed. I learned a lot from them as well. Okay, yeah, that's what I want to say about. Thanks.
Thank you, Daniel. And Sana, I'm going to come to you first for my next question. Yeah. What has the teaching style been like?
So I'll start my answer then. Yes. So as I've done about 2 units now, and all the tutors that I have been working with, and they've been fabulous, especially Dr. Stephen that I recently worked with. He was very, very helpful, and I think he's present here as well now. And Dr. Alex been very, very supportive, and the blended style has actually helped us out. And the regular tutorials that we have on the course are really helpful in terms of understanding the assessments and what is expected from us. So that has really helped throughout the course. Yes, the style of teaching has really helped me to self-reflect, and the way the assignments are also structured are such that you have to reflect back on your own practice, which helps you to better your practice within your organization as well. So whatever I learn, I normally go back to the leaders in my school and I share, okay, yeah, this is what I've learned. And after we meet during these tutorials, we have a chance to network with other teachers as well. So it's a great way to sort of collaborate and share our best practices. So I think in this way, this course has really worked out well for my own benefit.
That's great to hear, Sana. Thank you. So my next question, well, it's the same question, but it's to Martin. How have you found kind of the teaching style and kind of online learning? Have you found it okay, manageable?
Yeah, so to answer that question, I mean, I really enjoy the blended aspect. So as I said previously, I'm quite self-motivated, and so I really do work well by myself, and just being able to roll through the dates and through all of the information that has been put up. I feel that the ease of access onto all of the teaching elements through Blackboard makes it sufficiently like very, very easy to access via a laptop, your like desktop, or even via your mobile phone, for example. But at that, I feel that it's also great in terms of you can really work independently and go through everything. You have a really easy time to contact the lead tutors on the different units. So for example, Dr. Stephen Rayner was very contactable and always present essentially whenever we were doing the last unit on social practice and leadership. Dr. Alex Gardner-McTaggart and Dr. Paul Armstrong, for example, in the previous units that I've done, have always been very, very present as well, and always open to discussing things further, whether it's individually via a Zoom call like this, or if it was more in part of a seminar. And that leads me on to my next point. I mean, having 2 or 3 seminars per unit is perfect, because it really allows you to block out like an hour every couple of weeks, or every second week, let's say, to go through the content that you've already done by yourself, and then to listen to other colleagues and to listen to, in particular, the researchers themselves who lead the courses, because it's refreshing for us to hear their experiences and to hear their point of view, as much as it's refreshing for them to hear our point of view as leaders who are on the front line, let's say. And it really is this like passing of information back and forth. And you get a lot from hearing about other people and how they've dealt with different situations in whatever topic that you're studying. So I have found online learning to be really very simple. The accessibility onto the content, as I said, is excellent, and the accessibility towards communicating with the lecturers has been excellent as well.
Brilliant, that's great to hear, Martin, thank you. And you touched on briefly the kind of virtual learning environment, which is what to mention is at the start of, and I can see some smiles, which means my internet could be crashing. Yeah, thanks guys. That you will learn from and use kind of daily throughout your studies. As a student, you'll be assigned a student support advisor, so it's someone a little bit like me, but someone who will induct you onto that platform at the very start of your studies. So you throughout. So that's something I just kind of wanted to highlight, that you will have someone to support you non-academically with kind of that systems and kind of all of that good stuff. Now this course obviously is a blended course and it offers conferences throughout the duration of the course. Now some of those conferences have had to move into a virtual format because of what's going on in the world at the moment. Martin, I know you actually attended one physically back in February 2020, but I just wanted to kind of go around the room and just kind of hear your thoughts really on the type of opportunities those conferences provide you. So Martin, I'm coming to you first because you've attended both physically and virtually.
Yeah, so I mean, back in March 2020, which seems a lifetime ago now, we had our first in-house conference, let's call it, and it really gave us the opportunity to, first of all, meet our colleagues who were on the course with us, who were able to attend, and secondly, meet the researchers and the course leaders in person as well. This was, I think, very beneficial because it really set the expectations about how the course was going to develop, It allowed us to kind of like get to know where other people stood in terms of their educational background, in terms of their research interests as well. I said previously to both Sana, Daniel and Daisy that yeah, I am in very good contact with a few of them via my mobile phone, through WhatsApp, etc. And we have a group chat because of that initial conference where we spent the whole weekend together. We went out for food. We were able to, discuss education, but also discuss life and discuss what our future prospectus is. I really feel that the conference offers an opportunity to look at the wider picture of leadership and to bring in different elements of research, which sometimes you might not consider, and also allows a lot of different guest speakers to come in and speak as well. So we've had guest speakers from different universities discussing a whole range of different topics, from inequality to social injustice. One of the more recent ones that we had was from Mel Ainscough, and I know that the lecturers on the course send emails out to also let students or make students aware of different seminars that are happening on the wider leadership spectrum as well. I suppose the conference online, it's not the same in terms of you're sitting in front of your laptop, but it's still very good because you're still able to meet face-to-face virtually with different people, and you're able to discuss your different experiences and your perspective of leadership in whatever capacity that may be. And it allows a good, let's say argument to occur, but a good discussion to be had.
That's brilliant, Martin, thank you. And Daniel, how did you find your conference that you attended back in March?
I have already joined one. And actually it was a boring and lonely journey if I only study online by myself, until I met most of my classmates in Shanghai conference. For the 3 days conference, we joined the workshops, the discussions, and then we went out for eating, right? And then we have fun. And we communicate with each other face to face. And then we build up friendships. And we had our WeChat group, and maybe you know the WeChat by ourselves. And then even when we went back to our own cities, we have kept discussing about our homework and help each other. Meanwhile, we have established a business relationship. For example, one of my classmates in the elite program is a principal of a well-known international high school in Guangzhou City. And in fact, many of my students in our language center often consult me about the study plan every year. And now I'm able to recommend some of my students to my classmate schools for reference. And due to the COVID-19, it's a pity that we do not have the opportunities to meet our course tutors face-to-face in Shanghai. And I'm looking forward to seeing my classmates and my course tutors in the second conference in the coming September.
Thank you, Daniel. That's brilliant. And it's great to know that they have been valuable for you, and kind of your connections are growing thanks to the conferences that we've put together for this course. That's brilliant. And Sana, obviously you're based in our Dubai Centre and studying in Dubai. How have you found the conferences?
So I've unfortunately only attended online conferences because of the current situation. But it gave us a great opportunity to network. So most of the students were from the Middle East, but then we did have certain workshops where we interacted with the students from the Manchester Center and the Shanghai Center as well. So it was really nice to see the wider picture, as Martin said, what are the practices around the world, and to learn from them and self-reflect on our own practices. And then during those conferences, we do get an opportunity to also, I think there's some speakers that come from who are the industry experts as well in education. And when they come and they talk you through, and it makes you think like, oh, okay, we never thought about this before. So it sort of gives you some food for thought, as you say, as well. So I think I enjoy these conferences because we do these team building activities. So it's not like boring and just sitting behind the screen and just hearing someone talk for hours and hours. But it's very interactive in terms of you get to say, what your opinion, and then you listen to other people's opinion and sort of then collaborate together and learn new things. So I think I've enjoyed the conferences.
Brilliant, that's great to hear. And I'm going to finish off with a final question today. So all of you guys are working full-time and obviously studying this course part-time. The majority of our students who are kind of expressing an interest in this course and who will be joining us in the coming months in September and beyond that are going to be working professionals. Do you have one piece of advice for prospective students on how they can manage their time as a working professional while studying part-time? Martin, I'll come to you first, if that's all right.
Yeah, not a problem. So I already referred to this earlier as well, is that look at the key dates. So every unit has key dates, and it's really been a lifeline at times in order to make sure that I am working within time frame of work, essentially. And by using the key dates, it really means that you're not going to stress yourself out coming to the last few weeks of a unit and getting towards an assessment deadline and then having to rush through everything. And for me, the key dates offer the chance to reflect. And really that's what this course is all about, reflection on your practice. So making sure that you're able to reflect, to then go out and be a leader, essentially. And the key dates for me really do, if I was to say to anyone, be organized, use the key dates to your advantage, and you'll gain the most from this course, not only personally, but in your leadership within your schools as well.
Brilliant, thanks Martin. Daniel, any tips from you for prospective?
Okay, actually speaking of time management, I'm not quite good at it up to now. We have just finished the first module and I studied the second module for 6 weeks. And I'm still learning how to balance my study and my work. But my experience told me that if you have any difficulty on study, feel free to turn to the supporting team and ask for suggestion and solution. Not only the study advisor and the course tutor, they are always available, but also the study tutor from the library. Yeah, you can have the appointment with them and they will give you a lot of useful advice and backup. With their help, I got a B successfully for my first assignment, and I hope I could do a little bit better and achieve A next time. Thanks.
Thank you, Daniel. And Sana, last but not least, would you mind giving any advice to prospective students about kind of how to manage their time?
Yes, I think I will totally agree with Martin here that, key dates are essential. Keep in mind what the key dates are. But how I work is a little bit different from Martin. I have my own key dates. So I have the key dates and I make my own key dates to make sure that, because obviously working in Dubai, the work pressure is immense. So I need to make sure that if I'm missing out on a few weeks of not doing any coursework, then I have time to catch up with it during my holidays or whatever. But yeah, I think being organized is one of the key essential things that you would need to survive on this course. And this is not just coming from a working, this is coming from a mother of 3, a working teacher. So yes, I think you have to be very organized for this course.
That's brilliant. And I think that's absolutely right. And I think when it comes to learning, you find your rhythm once you get into studying, I think. So it might be a little bit of a shock to the system at the beginning, but you'll find your rhythm, and there is so much support out there to help you. And obviously we've got kind of students like you guys on the course who've been there, done that really, who can kind of help advise as well, which you guys have done today. I really, really want to thank you, all of you, for joining in the audience, but also our fantastic panelists. You've stuck with me when I've had some terrible internet connections, so I really, really appreciate it. It's great that you could all kind of share your perspectives, your global perspectives really, on studying on this fantastic course. We've had a question come through just about kind of speaking to someone about taking the next steps and kind of going on to apply. So if you are listening today live and listening on as a watch back via YouTube, my advice would be to get in contact with myself And you can do that by emailing studyonline@manchester.ac.uk, and I can direct you to the relevant recruitment teams to support you in that journey. I look after Manchester when it comes to recruitment, so I will be more than happy to support any of those. But thank you to everyone for sticking by me today. I think my internet is unstable again, so I do apologise. But on behalf of kind of programme, do, because it is a fantastic programme, and our students on today's panel agree with me, and so do the rest of our cohorts as well. I will absolutely share much for joining us, and I really do wish you the best of luck in kind of to the rest of you guys, but please do get in touch with me. I would be happy to kind of support you in taking that next step. Brilliant. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your evening, afternoon or morning, and I'll speak.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you all for attending.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.